are you? I hope that you're doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. This is the mid-year book freakout tag. Holy crap, we are midway through the year. We are, I mean, right now it is June 22nd when I'm filming this. Filming this. Hello, Cleo. How are you, my dear? So, I am gonna do a deeper dive in the competition between me and my husband's reading. He is reading up a storm. Yes, hello, Cleo. But without further ado, let's dive into these questions. So, best book you have read so far this year. Now, I've had 16 5-star reads, but if I go back through all of my 16 5-star reads and I think about the one that made me tear up, the one that I keep thinking about, you know, those kind of checklist kind of things, I would have to say Happy Place by Emily Henry. I love all of Emily Henry's books that I've read so far, and this one was just, it was so flipping good. I love the idea of rekindling a romance, and our main characters are Harriet and Wynne. They have been a perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls, except now, for reasons they're still not discussing, they don't. And I'm not gonna go any more into that, but I love how Emily Henry really hits on things that I'm going through in my life, like not necessarily with this book, but like with friendships growing and changing, and she hits on those real life topics, but then it's also quirky and funny and smart and romance, and it's just, it's so good. So I loved this book. Best sequel I have read so far this year. So I originally started this series in like 2017, I think, and I bought all 3 books in the series and then promptly got into other books and stopped reading the series, and then I picked it up from my Libby app. My library had it on audiobook. So I really loved A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. She's actually doing a reread of this series. If you want to follow her on YouTube, she's going through sort of like the behind the scenes of the series. I haven't watched it because I actually finished the last 2 in the series right before I saw that she had that reread going on. But this is a fantasy series, so if you want to get into that, you most certainly can. Okay, new release you haven't read yet but want to. Okay, so I want to read Stalking Around the Christmas Tree by Jacqueline Frost, aka Julie Ann Lindsay. It does come out October of this year, but I have an e-arc from NetGalley, and so I think I'm going to read it for Co's Week in July, because Christmas in July, and I freaking love Christmas. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, my weakness is Christmas. Like when I feel sad, I listen to Christmas music. So I feel like it's a good time to pick it up, and I have it. So why the heck not, right? Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. That is Richard Osman's The Last Devil to Die. This is book 4 in the Thursday Murder Club series. It comes out September 19th of this year, and I can't wait. I love the fact that the cover is purple, and I love this series more than I can possibly just even say. I love this series. Biggest disappointment of the year. So far, and I hate this question, but so far it would be Night of the Living Deed by E.J. Copperman. We read it for the Cozy Escape Book Club last month, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. I gave it 2 stars. I'm not going to continue the series. You guys can go and watch the live stream if you want to really know my thoughts on it, or go and read my review on Goodreads. But I just wasn't the biggest fan, but a lot of people on the book club loved it. So, you know, there's always a book is meant for someone, and that just one wasn't for me. Biggest surprise. So I run a physical book club as well that meets once a month at my house, and it's 6 of the most random people that have the biggest variety of reading. And my friend Rachel's husband James brought The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi, and it was so flippin' fun, and I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I listened to it on audiobook, and it was just hilarious. Basically, there is a thin line between our world and the kaiju world that is basically what would have happened had Earth, you know, formed in a different way. And there's big kaiju, which are big, huge, like lizard, monster, dinosaur kind of beings. And it's hilarious, and I loved it so freaking much. I was very surprised to have loved it as much as I did. Favorite new or debut or new to you author, Robert Thorogood. He writes the Marlowe Murder Club series, and I wanted that feisty, older, like mystery sleuth itch. Like I needed it itched, and I already was caught up on the Thursday Murder Club, and I had just read Killers of a Certain Age, and I was Googling and looking, and I asked a couple of book groups, and they recommended the Marlowe Murder Club. And so I was very, very happy. I've read the first 2 books. I got an advanced e-arc of the second book in the series, and flew through that this year. Absolutely loved it. And so yeah, Robert Thorogood. I don't know if he writes any other series or if he has any other like titles under his name, but I loved it. So it says newest fictional crush. Now I don't do crushes very often on books, like fictional crushes, but can I have a fictional grandma crush? Like, is that a thing that's allowed? You know what, it's my channel. I'm gonna make it allowed. So Judith, from actually the Marlowe Murder Club series, is a 77-year-old whiskey drinking, skinny dipping, crossword puzzle author living her best life in a dilapidated mansion on the outskirts of Marlowe. And I freaking love her. And I love how weird she is and how feisty she is and just sassy, and she doesn't put up with anybody's crap, and I love it. So newest favorite character, since I can't put Judith twice, or I shouldn't, Mbot from the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. He is a sentient robot. I'm not going to tell you like where he pops up because it is a surprise in the series, but he is hilarious, has an obsession with mushrooms, and I love watching him grow throughout the series. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Okay, a book that made me cry would have to be Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. I have, like, something that triggers me is the idea of being forced to relive a moment in my life, and then if I make one single difference that it would change everything in my life. That scares me. Like, if I had changed something, maybe I wouldn't have met Aaron, then I wouldn't have had my boys. And like, so I never regret anything in my life that I do, because it makes me the person that I am and the good that comes afterwards. Like, does it suck in the moment? Yeah, it probably does. Am I brokenhearted at the moment? Yes, I probably am. But it will make me something better. Una Out of Order, on her, I think it's her 18th birthday, she starts living her life out of order. She has these flashes where it physically takes her to a different part of her life on her birthday, which is New Year's Day. And so one moment she's 18, the next she's 56, the next she's 22. And it just, my heart broke for her, but then I loved this character. It was, I really, really loved this book a lot. I enjoyed it, but it made me cry. A book that made you happy. So a book that made me happy was actually a book that got sent to me, and it's called A Book That Loves You, An Adventure in Self-Compassion. I really, really, really needed this book when it came to me. It says, love your mind, love your body, love your ups, and love your downs. Love you. It is a self-care companion, unique, uplifting, and always available. It helps you to be sweet to yourself no matter what kind of day you're having. In its pages, discover the beauty of stumbling, the restorative pleasure of a walk in the woods, and the power of Nixon, aka the art of doing nothing. And it was just, one, it's freaking stunning. Like, just like the art that it has in this book, and the quotes, and like there were things that you could do in the book that were like little things to help calm your mind and calm you down. So like slow down puzzle stickers. So like all of these are stickers that I put in to create this puzzle, and it was something that I read like 1 or 2 articles in for like a month, and I did so much introspective looking at myself with this book. I have things from this book hung up in my office now. I think of things differently. I really, really enjoyed this book very, very much. And so this book, every time I look at it, it makes me happy. And I feel like I'm going to come back to this book and reread them when I'm in different eras of my life as well. So yeah, loved it. The most beautiful book you received or bought so far this year. So you probably haven't seen it yet, but you will. I filmed a vlog of me and my friend Rachel going to Gardner's Used Books, and there's a book haul in there. And one of the books is a book that Rachel got for me, and I just love the cover. And I've never read a Stephen King book, and it is Stephen King's Fairy Tale. Like, it's so beautiful to me, and the cover, like, it has like all of the gold and stuff is lifted from the page, and it just feels good in your hands, you know, like it just feels soft and nice. So it says, legendary storyteller Stephen King goes into the deepest well of his imagination in this spellbinding novel about a 17-year-old boy who inherits the keys to a parallel world where good and evil are at war, and the stakes could not be higher for that world or ours. And it just sounds good, and it's pretty. So yeah, that's one of my books. The very last question for the mid-year book freakout tag is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I don't have like a list of books that I want to read by the end of the year. The only real thing that I have like goal-wise is I'm rereading the Bake Shop Mystery series by Ellie Alexander, and so I just want to make sure that I read the first 12 books in the series this year, because I said that I was going to read 1 a month, and I'm trying to work on making those recipes. Just a lot harder than I thought, but yeah, that's the only thing that I have. I'm not really making myself TBRs or being super, super strict. This has been one of the best years of reading that I have ever had, in part to my competition with my husband. Thank you, Aaron, because I'm a very competitive person, only when it comes to him, apparently. But yeah, that's sort of my goals. I will do a deep dive into my second quarter reads for May, June, July, where I will talk, or no, for April, May, and June, where I'll talk about my reads, my husband's reads, our stats, where we're at competition-wise. But yeah, I am really happy to have filmed this video. It was a lot of fun to go back and sort of see all of the books that I have read so far in 2023. Bless you, Willow. But that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.